pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we can actually start the meeting, unfinished business, we already have a comprehensive plan. Basically, Helen Birchenoff is here, and she's with the town. She's been working with Kathy Manning, the planning department. And part of the problem is the original comprehensive plan is 170-some pages long. And so we're trying to condense it, make it a little bit better. And Helen, going to talk a little bit about it.
Right, so Helen Birchenoff. I'm glad to be here and glad to be assisting in this process. So what Kathy Manning and I have been doing, we've been trying to streamline the document itself, right? And get it down to just what the New York State law says a comprehensive plan needs to be. And it's very limited. Basically, it boils down to land use. And then you can add in a lot of other things, but primarily it's a document for land use and for the vision of how the municipalities want to do zoning and enforcement and things like that. So that's what we've done. We've taken the document, we've taken everything out except the land use. Now, what I did is I made up a sheet of what we have deleted out. It's the executive summary, the entire introduction, much of part 2 of some of the goals, part 3, appendix 4, appendix 6. What in my opinion, I think we can keep a lot of the data, like the history of Lowville, put together. I think we should publish it as a separate document and then post it on our websites. The county can host it, the Historical Society can host it. The community profile, same thing. A lot of data was collected. I don't think we should pitch it out entirely, but it doesn't belong necessarily in a comprehensive plan. So those can be additional documents that can be posted on the town and the village's websites. If anybody would like to assist in this streamlining process or in editing some of these other portions, we welcome your assistance. So the introduction now is just one page. It includes the location, purpose of the plan, the community vision statement, and data about the Comprehensive Planning Committee and the community input summary. Part 1 is now current land use. Part 2, goals, plans, and strategies. Part 3, land use plans and policies. There will need to be a list of references created and then definitions of terms. So that's the work to be done. This is not final by any stretch. And in the aside to the document are lots of comments because Ms. Manning and I were not part of the process of collecting the data. We do have questions that we will send back to Ray Cog and they can answer some of those for us. And any of the village members, if you have answers to some of these questions, we welcome those. We haven't sent it over in this draft yet. We did send an earlier draft over to Mayor Beagle. But after we brief the town board in the morning, then we'll send it out and welcome your inputs, okay? And then Kathy's plans on giving a copy to the planning and zoning board for their edits as well. And what we really want from them is to see if they can actually implement what's in this document, right? Because it's really up to them to do that. So, any questions? Yes?
You said it was like 170 pages to start with?
Yes.
How many did you end up with at the end?
Well, okay, so right now, and this is a very rough draft, it does not have the list of references, it does not have the definitions of terms in it, and there are a lot of figures and graphics that we chose not to put in here. We have just basically now the land use for the village and the town, and it'll either be taxable or assessed value of land for the town and the village. Those are, right now, it is not 30 pages.
Really?
Not 30 pages. It is this, what I'm holding now, so, currently, okay?
Chocolate.
A lot of fluff, huh?
No, I wouldn't say fluff, I would say a lot of good data.
Right, that doesn't.
That doesn't.
It doesn't need to be in this plan, because this plan is a regulatory plan. So the state requires us to have it, and if we do, we must comply with the state law of what it is to be.
You
right?
said the state has a requirement on maximum pages?
No, the state has a law for the town and village for a comprehensive
Right.
plan and what it should include, right? And so, but it's a regulatory document. Once the boards approve it, then the municipalities use it as a guide for what they're doing in land use. So it is regulatory in nature. So we want it to be the best it can be and just what it needs to be, and don't publish anything more than is necessary and by law, is the recommendation from Kathy. So,
Because we think that being that it's 30, 40 pages, people might actually look at it if it's 174 pages, you know.
Right,
so we're looking at it.
right.
Just an example, Syracuse, their comp plan's only 49 pages.
Yeah.
Right, and the draft that we received from the rate cog, putting all of the data together, great data. I don't think we should, not keep it, right? It is good data. A lot of the data from the community survey is what I would consider desirements, but some of those desirements have nothing to do with what the municipality can enforce or enact. So it's outside of the control of the municipalities. Right? So we're taking that off the table too. Okay? So, but I would encourage everyone to read it because it is now just the nuts and bolts of and take a look at the 170 plus page document as well to see if there's anything that we might have missed that you would like to see put in the final draft.
If anybody doesn't have a copy of that, there is a copy, notebook in the office of the first draft.
Right. The other thing we're recommending is that we just keep it very basic, very simple. Just put the seals of the village and the town on the front page. Get rid of all of the graphics. It costs the municipalities money in printing, storage, and transmission, as well as I couldn't even receive the original document. It was too large for my inbox, and it wasn't that large, right? So if I have an inbox that isn't big enough, then our citizens don't have an inbox that is big enough either. So that's our recommendation. So, any questions? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. We'll get this to you tomorrow. Appreciate the time.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve the April 20th regular board minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're short a couple of board members tonight. We need a motion to excuse Danny and Ed.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of vouchers.
Oh, our general fund is 76, vouchers of $76,037.26. The water fund, $120,143.62. Sewer fund, $78,511.13. In capital fund is $370,349.49. 49 cents.
370,000, 349.
In capital fund is $370,349.49. 49 cents. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370,349.49. 370 a motion to approve these as audited.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unfinished business, 5 streets utility restructuring project. On my end of it, we're still waiting for PFC to close out the final sewer bond, get that squared away the long term. But it's basically in EFC's court. When they're ready to do it, they will notify us. You guys have anything on that?
No.
And I don't know if I should bring this up. Couple of warranty issues. Made any headway on what I talked to you on last week?
I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
Oh,
We went out and looked at the sidewalk, have some ideas on that. And I need to learn more about the hydrant issue. And just, we can just set up a time to do that.
Well, I just talked to you last week on it. It was, like one Thursday, so that hasn't been that long. And we've got everything else going on here. All right, phase 2 wastewater treatment plant upgrades.
So I got a lot of things going on that one tonight. I guess I'll just start off with the general update. North Country, S.D. Spencer, and E&I have all been on site over the last month, progressing on their work. APG, the lagoon contractor, is planning on coming in, I believe, next week. They actually started taking off some of the aeration equipment this week in preparation for them. The aeration diffuser equipment's rebid, that went out a few weeks back. We're opening bids on May 24th next week, next Tuesday at 10 a.m. at the village offices. And that is the reason for the new bond resolution we're going to need to adopt tonight.
Can't do it tonight.
Can't do it tonight?
Gotta have at least 4 board members signing on to it.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that.
It's been statute.
Okay.
All the everything's ready down here.
Yeah, we're ready, we just need to have 4 members.
Can we do a special meeting next week possibly, or?
What did you say we needed on that?
Need 4 out of 5 board members.
That's what I was kind of worried about.
Yep.
If it's on.
Yeah, at this point, we could just wait till you get the bids, because they're coming in next week.
And maybe do it the 28th, or, right after we get the numbers. Then we fine tune the number. Does that change? We didn't have to put, did we have to put it in that? I know we gave it.
Well, we increased it to, whatever figure you put in.
Yeah, 1.547.
Yeah, it's up to 14,926, 311 right now.
And that, and I guess.
You don't have to borrow it all, but we have to.
Right, so, I mean, whether we change the number or not, actually, probably doesn't matter as long as it's not.
Doesn't matter, right.
So we can do whatever we want, it's just an idea about.
Well, and then we gotta, once it's adopted, it's got a permissive referendum.
That's the time period that I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's a 20-day estoppel period, which you can go ahead and borrow during that estoppel period, but there's a risk to it. So. Excuse me.
So is it, if it ends up coming above that, can it be a quick fix to the bond resolution then to fix that number?
Yeah, we just have to change the number.
Okay. Maybe we just wait for the bids coming next week then, and do one after that.
I have another option too. Believe it or not.
What is it?
I know where I can come up with some funds if I need to.
Right.
Okay.
For the,
We'll talk about it later.
All right, so we'll plan to have a special meeting later in the week, next week then?
yeah, because we'll have to notify, need to put out 72 hours. So.
Okay.
Is there a set day we're thinking so I can get the posting up? Or do you wanna wait till later in the week, this week to determine it? Cause I don't know, Danny's away till when, next week?
I'm not sure when he's due back, that's why.
So we just need one of the
We
board
need
members,
one.
you know?
One is an all, yes.
The problem is tonight, we got one that's sick and
Yeah.
one that's away.
Okay.
So the 24th is Tuesday. That, you know, will, and you want, what works for you guys, Wednesday, Thursday, 25th, 26th?
Maybe Thursday's better to give us a couple of days just to review the bids and stuff and being sure that we can.
You couldn't do it no later than that Thursday, because I'm sure a lot of people, it's Memorial Day weekend, a long weekend there.
Yeah. Okay, Thursday would be a good day then?
Thursday the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
See, 23rd would be,
That'll be ready.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we can make it after work if you want.
It doesn't matter. No, I can come anytime during the day. As long as I know how.
What time do you wanna set it for?
You know? What time?
Doesn't matter now.
What's good for you guys?
We've got two guys that aren't here again too, so.
I'll make it tentative and then I'll let you all know tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you want it during the day though, or do you wanna do a
The
quick
problem
one
during
at
the
like
day,
4?
Ed's probably at school, so you're not gonna get him.
Do you wanna shoot for 4 and I'll ask Dan and Ed tomorrow and then let everybody know if it will work? Okay.
And if we need to, I mean, you can check with him. Earlier in the day is fine with me, I don't know about you, and it's fine with Tim. If you can
Okay.
say at 10 o'clock would work for them, go for it.
Okay.
That's better for you too.
Then I can go home. Okay. So I'll let you guys know once I hear from Ed and Dan, hopefully tomorrow, and then as long as your schedules work, then we'll be good to go.
Not work, Kevin will be gone, but I don't.
Kevin. Okay.
Okay, so that, I guess, segues into the next item, which is the additional engineering services agreement. Just sent to you guys on May 13th, in regards to the additional, fees needed for the design and inspection of the aeration diffuser.
I have the new one, after I asked Matt to revise things there. The one I have is for 110,500.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Basically, that takes in design, coordination, bidding, construction administration, based on 4 to 3.5 months more of construction time. And then a resident project representative on site for that time to make sure everything's done properly. So you need a motion to amend that for $110,500.
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. That we got on the.
So the last thing is the change order for APG. This is a change order in the amount of $57,603.12, and it is for additional fuel costs due to the large increase in diesel and fuel costs. That's what that's what this change order is for.
And that's from September, what, 20?
Costs have gone up.
Yeah. I was putting the time right in there, it was in the change order.
So in September, when they bid it,
328.
diesel cost $3.48 a gallon. they wrote this change order in April, it's up to $5.29 a gallon. And, right now in May, it's up another $1.
You know, I'm gonna say it's over 6 right now. So basically, to protect the village, if we go ahead with this change order, change orders basically cover the extra fuel because they're gonna go through roughly 500 gallons a day to do the desludge and dewatering down there for at least 26 days. I asked when they changed this afternoon, we wrote in here not to exceed. So our liability on this will be up to $57,603.12. Diesel goes up another $1 or $2, it's on them. It can't go on us if we approve this.
And they also estimated quantities, which will be involved in, so we'll be able to understand it.
Yeah, if you want to see
Yeah,
that.
they break down their cost a couple different ways. Some is just straight mobilization, which is gallons, and the other is by the dry ton of sludge that they're hauling away. So
Because this,
we'll know that number, that quantity is something we're gonna have to be tracking, so.
did you want to see that, Chuck?
I gave him my copy. It doesn't have like the updated terminology, but it has all the other papers.
Make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I had for wastewater, John.
Okay. You don't have a copy of this new one, do you?
Not the new one. I can go make a copy really quick when we're done. This way he can take. Do you want to keep it? Do you want it?
You can send it to me tomorrow, if there's any else.
Okay. No. The only thing that's different is the verbiage. It doesn't say, to not exceed. But all the figures and stuff is the same.
All right, moving on to groundwater well development project.
Excuse me. We've been able to go back and forth with DOH a couple more times in the last month. We've been able to narrow down their comments to some pretty minor stuff, so we're able to put, the project out to bid as of Monday. Giving them 4 weeks to make their bids, so that would place, the bid opening on June 13th, which is a Monday at 2 p.m. at the village offices.
What was the date?
June 13th, it's a Monday at 2 p.m.
2 p.m., did you say?
Yep. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we worded the bidding. We bid it so that they start work in the spring of 2023, and that's due to the large lead times on a lot of the key materials on this project. A lot of, in talking with contractors and suppliers, a lot of electrical and electrical equipment and ductile iron pipe, which is a large portion of the project, is a very large lead times right now. And so by bidding it out for them to start later on, we don't handcuff anybody into trying to get the materials quicker and causing large increases in the bid pricing.
We'll probably, so another thing that it does, anybody that's busy now is probably wouldn't bid if we were trying to get this going this year. So if we push it out, put that bid or put the construction phase next year, we're more likely to get more bids, and which always equals better pricing. The other thing, Kevin mentioned the lead items. We will we will be looking though, once we get this bid and if we can award it, we'll probably be looking to buy that material right away and store it out there, probably more than likely on site. And only because as soon as they can order it, the quicker they'll get it. There's really no certainty as far as when you order material and when you're gonna get it. Somebody will tell you there is, but they'll get it when they get it. And so anything we can do to help that process and to secure our construction materials, the better the project will be. So even though we're allowing them to start later, if they get materials and they wanted to start, we would certainly let them. But then at that point, you're in control of that, and you can push that start date off. If they start, somebody needs to be out there overseeing it, which costs money. So we just want to be able to let the village have that control when they start, and obviously when they finish is the typical date we include in these bid documents. We don't always put a start date because normally it's start as soon as you can. But in this situation, we're pushing that start date out there a little ways because we know we're going to have long lead items, and so we don't want to get contractors worried about it, which is another thing that usually adds money to your project. So a couple of reasons we did it, but ultimately it gives the village a lot more control over the process and hopefully the ability to control the pricing a little bit.
Is it?
Yes, if that's it, John.
The streetlight LED conversion program. I think we're finally getting to the end of the tunnel on that one. Basically, I believe they only had 5 lights to install here in the village, and they are new installs. I was told yesterday they would be back in town tomorrow and Friday, so hopefully they will be. We do have to, and they're working on that. There's 2 things. They need to get us the cut sheets that list all the pole numbers with LED light that's on it, as far as whether it's a 30 watt, 70 watt, whatever it might be, and the dates it was installed, because we have to get that information back to National Grid in order to apply for our CERTA rebates. We did receive a little over $92,000. We have that. We got the money on shared services. We have received that on the LED. I believe that's it at the moment with that. Do you have any questions on that? I think we finally got the rest of the decorative lights and things. I know we got Charlie Street here a week or so ago, finally, one next to him.
Quite a bit brighter too. They were kind of pinkish color before, and now they're bright white.
Did you want to mention about National Grid, the insurance and Joe? Did you want to mention about National Grid, where they have to go out and check, inspect the poles? National Grid, how they have to go out and inspect the poles.
Oh yeah, that's what the LED people, basically those disconnect switches that we had to get the letter of credit and everything for. Every one of those, I'm not saying every one, but they gotta be inspected by National Grid. So I know, I talked to Brummel, he's working on trying to make contact with National Grid to come out and do that inspection. Because like I told him, if we don't get that inspection done, we're gonna have to renew our letter of credit. I don't really want to do that. That's another expense that we don't need.
I talked to the lady at the bank for the credit today. She said it expires in August, but she's gonna check with the underwriter. She thinks we have to give them a decision by June 7 as to if we're gonna meet it or not. She's gonna see if we can push it, so it doesn't expire till August. But for the underwriting part, she's gonna find out from them how far we can push it. So once I find out, I can let you know.
Well, I know I just talked with Kurt Brown from Wendell there, LED, yesterday again on getting those switch disconnects inspected, so. Anybody else have any questions on LED lights? Rezoning of industrial zone options, I believe, you have that, Joe? We have to do a seeker.
We gotta do a part one, and that goes into county planning with the proposal. And then we'll have to do parts 2 and 3 before we adopt it.
So we have to adopt,
Just part 1.
we have to adopt part one, right?
Right, and we're the only involved agency. But we have to send part 1 in with the proposal to county planning.
And you've already filled part one out?
Yeah, part 1 I filled out and sent it to Danielle.
Yeah, I didn't know if he needed it, so I printed him off one in case he didn't fill anything out.
So that's gonna be sent to the county then?
Part 1 and the proposed local law will go to the county planning.
Because we gotta get their input back before we schedule.
We have,
public
yeah, we
hearing.
have to refer it to county planning before you have a public hearing.
But I know you wanted to get that in motion, that's
Yeah.
why you want to get the seeker done tonight. So do we need a motion to adopt that seeker though, right?
Part 1 of the secret, you need a motion to adopt, and then you should sign that part as mayor, so.
I'll make a motion, we get adopt part one of the seeker for the industrial zoning changes.
And I guess I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tim, do you want to send me the local law? Because I know you made revisions on it, right?
No, I haven't made any revisions since they sent it to Joe, I don't think.
Okay, so do you want me to send it to county planning?
Yes.
Okay,
With part 1.
yeah.
We'll have to fill out their form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it saved to my computer.
Oh.
When you do that, send me a copy too.
Yeah, I'll copy on it.
I think there was one spelling change on there or something, but I'll check that out.
Okay, I'll see which one I have too, and then I'll confirm it's the right one first.
Okay, now we're down to the comprehensive plan. Anybody got any more questions on it from what Helen had to say? Pretty much. Okay, Citizen of the Year Award. I did talk to Dan here a little before he left on this trip, and as far as I know, I think he's got 5 applications that the students at school are reviewing. And I'm sure he'll be getting that answer shortly. Music in the Park, I believe the first one's supposed to be, I think it's the 28th, the Tuesday of June.
June 29th at 5 p.m. by the Nelson Brothers, he said.
What's the 20, he changed that though, because the first, the 29th, 28th or something. It's gotta be a Tuesday, what's a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it is the 28th.
You know,
So maybe all his dates might be a day
Yeah,
off.
it's definitely
realized
a
that.
Tuesday because,
Okay.
He must not have sent you an email, he realized that.
Of course not.
no, I just remember he sent me an email, said he corrected the date, because he was supposed to be Tuesday, not Wednesday. So Tuesday the 28th is gonna be the first band. Anybody else have any unfinished business they want to bring up before we move on? All right, new business. Craft surcharges for April 2022, sewer, $3,250. Motion to approve those.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got budget amendments, general fund, water fund, and sewer fund, but we probably should do each one of them separate, right, Joe?
Yeah.
We need a
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. We also need a motion for the water fund amendments.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Budget amendments for the sewer fund. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
His name on the scoreboard.
Okay, it's that time of year to renew a few contracts. Need a motion to authorize me to sign the Lowville Fire Department contract for new year of $64,372.78.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to authorize me to sign the contract for the Lowville Library for $5,000.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need a motion for me to sign the village band concert for $4,000.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion for me to sign the Lowville Senior Citizens Club for $500.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Recreation Committee, Dan Meyer's term is up. I talked with him. He's willing to stay on for another term. So I'd like to appoint him to that commission. His appointment will run through May 31st of 2027. Questions on that? If not, I'll make a motion to appoint him.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I got some other new business. One being the housing board members.
Yep.
We need 2 new members because we've had 2 board members resign here this week.
Just this week, yeah.
So that's one thing. I was contacted by one of these community solar presentation people, basically wondering if the village would want to listen to a presentation about community solar. I know Mickey knows something about it, probably, the community solar.
Yeah, is that through Joel's assets? or-
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably through the Lewis County
Yeah.
program,
And
yep.
basically, long story short, I mean, if you have so many members of the community sign up for it, you can get a reduced rate for everybody, you know what I'm saying? You see all these big solar things going in, that's what they're doing. Plus, the municipality would get, I believe, $50 for each person that signs on, correct? In addition.
Something like that, yeah.
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 So, you know, could be a one-time thing, but they're wanting to present at a board meeting or a special meeting or whatever. So, maybe we need to wait until we got a few more people here, but I'm willing to listen to it.
Then we can see when we have everybody here at the special board meeting. If
Okay.
I want to go for it, then maybe that's something else.
Yep, sounds good. I've been approached, wondering if the village could provide more picnic tables in the park over there. Like along the sidewalk where the trees are there. So, is that an option? Because
More picnic tables.
more pic,
I think that was our long-range plan. That was one of the reasons, so we're trying to do the new green infrastructure. But part of that was we were gonna add more picnic tables to the park. I don't know if you want to say anything on that. We're trying for another.
you guys are
grant.
gonna have to mow around. But,
Well, if we do what we want, we're gonna have to move around a lot of
a
stuff.
lot of stuff. So that's in the works, basically.
Yeah.
I know we're hoping to put in for a grant, and I believe the awards come out in December. It's another consolidated funding grant that we're looking at.
And the only other thing I had was this promotional video by CGI, and I'll let Mickey talk more about that when he talks, so. I'm done.
Did we have anybody for the housing board appointments?
No, I just got those,
Well, you had,
Or we have to,
just got one today actually, and one yesterday with 2 resignations, but I just haven't really.
you
thought
did
about it.
find one to replace Joe Mon, correct?
Yeah, Kathy Reed
Yeah.
took his place.
yeah. Do you want me to put something on the website saying that there's 2 openings to see if we
You
get
could,
anything?
see if anybody was kind of interested.
Okay.
All right. Correspondence, the Waco May newsletter. You want to talk on that, or then you want Mickey to talk on that?
I'll let Mickey talk on this newsletter.
Want me to do that now, or do you want me to do it later?
No, we're in the correspondence section. You can go
Oh, okay.
there.
So, we're gonna have our, Raycon board meeting's gonna be, probably in June. We're kind of pushing it off because we got a few things in the hopper right now, so we just wanna wait until those things are all set, so the board can vote on it before, they break for the summer. So, one of the things, actually Tim and I are gonna be working on is with, Carrie Knight from BOCES. She, is the teacher for the visual communications class, and her senior is going to work on developing a design for our banner for RACOG that would then be displayed at the different fairs this summer over in Jefferson and Lewis County, because the Tug Commission is going to have a booth at all 4 county fairs this year. So like last year we put out the RACOG brochures, so this year I thought, oh, it might be nice to have a little banner about the RACOG area there. So we're working on that with her. So that's one of the things, the reasons we're waiting until June, because the seniors don't get done with their internships until end of May. So they can't start working on that project until they get back from their internship. So that was one of the things. And the other thing that like Tim started mentioning about the CGI video. So I know him and Chuck are on the subcommittee there. And I don't know, does Scott already touch base with you
I
about?
was just talking with Chuck earlier because I just noticed before I come to the meeting that his emails went to my junk folder. I never even seen them. So the 4 emails like that you guys sent back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
About having a Zoom meeting, and I didn't have time to respond to him, so.
Okay.
So he did send something out, but I never got it. It's like on May 10th or something. I got it, but I didn't realize I got it, put it that way.
And I didn't get them either, so I,
He said he didn't get him at all.
no.
Huh.
So I emailed Scott this afternoon, asked if he could resend something, because I never got it.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I know, that's the other thing is, so that CGI video thing was approved by Ray Cobb at the last board meeting, and that, we're moving forward on. So that's it. I think I've already described it before. Free promotional video of the Ray Cobb region, along with the possibility to have some banners in the community and stuff, so yeah, that's moving forward, and hopefully we'll have an update. We'll get your subcommittee going and have an update in the June meeting, on that. The other thing is the town of Lowville is the lead applicant on a historical preservation grant. So that's being submitted. Tim Abel, a local archaeologist there, he's the one who put the plan together. Gonna highlight try to locate all the historical sites along the Black River, starting down in Oneida County, working all the way up through to Jefferson County where it empties out into Lake Ontario. So that's the other thing going on there. And then we did have our summit back here in April, and pretty good turnout. I know I was approached by a couple of people at the end just saying that they would like to see it again next year. So I do have a survey going around right now, trying to get some feedback, and whatever I get from feedback from that, we're gonna bring to the RACOG board also in June. So, but yeah, so far we're positive comments about it. So it's probably something we'll look to hold again next year. Then I think you already covered the LED lighting, and it sounds like you got your funding, so that's great, in the shared service funds. And we're just in the process of finalizing Jefferson County's shared service funds too right now, so. So we'll let it go, and other than that, if you have any questions for me?
That's it,
That's it, yeah.
Does everybody have a copy of this from Young's Law Office, USDA request?
Yes.
Basically what that request is USDA is up there on Stowe Street to this, the county. And now that the county's moving down to Glenfield, they needed to find a location for their offices.
That's where the smoke shop was, right?
Yeah. And they wanted space for 4 vehicles, but they ended up cutting it back to 1. And they're looking for a designated spot down back there behind the basement, basically in our Lowville Commons parking lot. And I talking with Mike, they want to be able to park a truck, pickup truck, F-150 size. They're 24 hours a day. And Paul and I drove down there and checked the area out. And we think there is a spot near where the walkway come down by the movie theater. There's like 4 spots in there where we could put a spot and mark it USDA parking only and put a small sign there. I asked Mike if that location was okay. He said it would be fine. I feel that if we're going to do that, the village should get some kind of income. I know we're not a big city, but I figure we should charge at least $3 a day for that spot, roughly $100 a month, just under $100 a month. Basically, that would get added to their lease that they have with Carmelo. We'd be billing Carmelo, not not the USDA. Whether the board wants to do anything like that.
Was that part of your conversation with Mike or not?
Pardon?
Was that part of your conversation with Mike or not?
Yeah, well, I discussed the location. Mike said that was fine. And I said, did they have a figure that they were willing to pay?
Okay.
I said, we weren't a big city, so I said I felt maybe $3 a day, somewhere in that, because I think Paul agreed with me, we're not going out there and charge 10, 15 bucks a day.
Right.
So Utica or Watertown might, but. And Mike was fine with that, but that's when Mike said that that would get added to the lease with Carmella.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
That's good. Yep.
And $3 a day is acceptable with everybody?
Yes.
And it's gonna be for minimum of 18 months, a maximum of 24. Might know in the morning that that's what we came up with.
Probably be a good idea.
Can we do a motion on it just for minute wise?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'm not sure if everybody got this one. Basically what this is, and Joe, we may need your help on this one. It's the one with Tori Myers, do you have that one? Yep. Basically last year, I believe, Wendy told me, she took her first grade class over to the Veterans Park. And they'd like to do it again this year, but they also, there's a few more people this year, and they're also planning the Fort Drum Military Jazz Band perform between 12 and 2. So I guess the only question we have, Wendy and I had, was, number one, we do want to have the kids be able to use the park, but last year we just let them use it, there was no charge or anything, because it was the kids. But where they're bringing the band in, should we worry about a certain insurance or anything?
Yeah, I would certainly, that would make a lot of sense. I'm not sure who the Fort Drum Jazz Band is. Are they all soldiers?
Yeah. And she did say that if they had to have insurance, chances are they wouldn't be going there, but.
They would not be going in?
No, they would go find someone.
She didn't
Well,
think
about the
they, she
kids
didn't think they
together,
could
right?
provide the certificate of insurance.
I don't think they can.
Everybody in general.
I don't think they
would.
can, so
So I'm just wondering, where would we be if something happened?
we'd be going after Fort Drum. I mean, you've got insurance.
Yep.
So if something happens, your insurance is gonna kick in anyway. So it boils down to whether you wanna, take that risk that your insurance is gonna cover any potential issues.
It wasn't supposed to be for the general public or anything, it was just a thing to kind of,
Yeah,
like a lot of your schools will have a year-end picnic or something, it's
Yeah.
just a place for the kids to go that day, and
yeah.
so.
I think
And I say they did go there last year, but it was just the kids, they didn't have a band.
I don't think the band adds any more risk to it.
I think you need to stipulate it's not open for the public,
Right.
because, they can invite their friends and family and everybody else there too.
No, you're right, it's
It
just,
says teachers and students.
yeah, that's it.
Just want to make a motion that we let her know that it's okay as long as it's
It's
just
not a public event.
not a public event, just the students and the teachers and the band. That works?
Works for me.
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think Wendy also wants to know, we're not charging at all, right, for the use of the park? Or I think usually there's a $25 fee for the electric. We're not charging any of that since it's a veteran
No,
park
I
and a
mean,
military band, correct? We're waiving
Right.
all the fees?
and it's
Okay.
it's a first grade class too, I mean, we're looking at, what, 6-year-olds?
Yeah. I just know she's gonna freak out about it, tell her we had an answer, so.
I mean,
We're
we're
gonna
kind
charge Wendy
of,
25.
it's kind of a catch-22. We want people to use the park, but we also gotta make sure everything is safe and things over there also. Okay. Anybody else have any correspondence they need to bring up? All right, office committee reports. Village attorney, anything? Okay, I got a couple of things. I know we've talked at some of our past board meetings about dog control. And I do have basically a term of agreement talking about funding with the town of Lowville. Basically, it's a memorandum of understanding. And it's includes all of our Chapter 77 when it comes to dog control and animal control. They would like to numbers here. Says the dog control officer will track data expenses for any dog-related call in the village of Lowville. Expenses associated with these calls will be covered by both municipalities at a rate 65% village and 35% town. Any change in allocation would be subject to approval by government bodies, and we were going to take a look at this again in 6 months. Talking with Randy, he and I both figured that 65-35% is a little bit high. We think it could be better off at 50-50. And I talked with Bob, and I think he's gonna talk to his board tomorrow and through the 50/50 out of him. Because the other thing that happens is on all these dog calls, there's also mileage involved. And so, looking at last year's, 65%, figuring in all the mileage and everything, our expense on that would have been almost $7,500, between $7,500 and $7,800 would have been our share. And like I reminded Bob, that the town gets the revenue from all the dog licenses that are in the village. And according to the state law, they have to take care of all the ag and market violations. That's something why we kind of figured we should be back at, maybe if you wanted to do something like that, at 50/50, which would probably put us between $3,500 and $5,000 a year for dog control. It's not finalized yet, we're working on it, but anyways, I'm looking for the board to tell me which way they would like me to keep working with Bob on this.
Are our rules different than theirs though? I
Yes.
thought there was something about
And
that.
that's what's brought this up, is the town dog control officer has to enforce all the town laws, and he has to enforce all the ag market laws. But anything we have in our chapter of dog laws, which is chapter 77, it's village, it's separate from them, so the town dog control officer doesn't have to enforce it. The other thing that we would be getting, besides him, another reason for going to the town is they have all the agreements with the shelter. So if the dogs have got to go to the shelter or something, it's all, they take care of it all. I mean, we probably get billed our share, plus the dog control officer has equipment and whatnot to go out and catch them. But I'm thinking if we were going to do something like this, I'm thinking maybe 50/50, but definitely not 65/30. Have you thought any more since you and I talked
I
about it?
think 50/50 is fair, but I haven't done any more research other than what I gave you already.
The thing was, Randy and I come up with less numbers on dog complaints in the village than the town came up with. But like I say, some of them put them in the ag market ones that he was going after.
Seeing our village codes are a little more, some of our villages are better than the ag and market laws are more restrictive in some things that we have actually some good laws in the village on dogs. And in the past, they never take care of it, they never do anything, so.
Because we, like in the past, for example, we've had a dangerous dog on dogs, and the town never had one of them. I think they're in the process of getting one now, but in the past, they never had one. I mean, it's up to the board if you want me to pursue this with him at 50/50, or if you got another number you'd like me to throw at him. But that's, at 50/50, we're gonna probably be looking between 3,500 and 5,500 a year.
I'm fine with 50/50. I mean, if he's willing to do that to start, we can always adjust it later. If, you
Well-
know, if the,
That's kind of what we do with the planning and zoning board right now. We adjust it every year accordingly, depending on the permits and whatnot.
And they did talk about it in the last town board meeting, that they had the dog control officer here. And some of the stuff is in the village, because they're talking about some of that, that could be quite involved before it gets done.
So I'll talk with Bob some more, and if we can get it at 50/50, then we'll bring it up at our next meeting again and see where we go with it. Try and get something in place. other thing I have is on our insurance, basically our insurance premium came due, right? Danielle?
Mhm.
And they threw us a couple of optional quotes. One was on property and equipment breakdown. It increased our deductible from 1,000 to 2,500. It would change our premium $2,000. And if we increased our deductible from 1,000 to 5,000, they would save us 4,200
That's a year.
a year. Law enforcement deductible increased from 5,000 to 10,000 would be $824. Law enforcement deductible increased from 5,000 to 10,000 would be $1,700. Randy was on vacation, so I didn't really get a chance to talk to him on the law enforcement part of it. But my thought there is, with everything that's going on in the country right now, I don't think we want to make any changes on our law enforcement coverage. I did talk with Paul, and we both feel that cost of equipment, if we had a major problem at the barn or something, that we're better off keeping our deductibles right where they are and not changing them if we had a major disaster. But it's the board decision how you want me to, whether we accept it. I just gotta mark yes, no, and sign it and send it back to them.
I mean, I'm kind of going by your recommendation here. I don't know how many instances we have here, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can save on one end, but if you have multiple issues, then you're not saving, you know what I mean? So, I'm good with whatever you guys are proposing, I guess.
You were still okay with that, right? That's me knowing what we got in the garage down there. If say we had a major, it'd be better off having the coverage the way it is. Because it ended up costing us more to replace the equipment. Then the other one they were wondering if we were interested in was getting a quote on flood insurance. Supposedly our sewer plant down there is in a flood zone. Let's see. Basically, that's the lagoons, the valve house west, valve house east, and the lift station generator down there. Basically, NYMER does provide us, in our coverage that we have right now, $1 million limit for flood coverage, subject to a $25,000 deductible. But again, we've never flooded down there. And for what flood insurance costs, I think we're better off just staying the way we are. But
I agree.
So why don't we stay the way we're on all of it then, right? Can I have a motion for that or no?
I would say we can make a motion and we'll put it in the minutes.
I'm s-
We'll make a motion to not make, any changes to deductibles.
and deductibles are insurance, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave them the way they are. And then no quote for flood insurance, but I don't think we need a motion for that. We just won't have her do it.
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Let's do one on the flood insurance too.
A separate one?
Let me just check something here on this. Because we gotta send that one back too. It says we either we're interested or decline, so.
Okay, I mean, we can make a motion to
Decline.
decline.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Do second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Back and forth.
Just raise your hand.
Are you good with all that?
Yeah, I know, just to switch on with Tim goes first and Chuck goes second.
Should have little cue cards, you know what I mean? Motion.
I'm keeping track.
Oh, yeah? Who's ahead?
Close.
All right, looking for a little guidance on this one again. Summer recreation program. Last year our recreation program was, all told together was $50,950. The village paid about $3,170, $31,475 is what the village paid on that last year. The town paid $19,475. So I say last year the total was $50,950. Got a quote this year. For the same 6-week program, it's up to $59,892. I will say a couple things in there that are added is there's $3,000 added this year that wasn't there last year for field trips because they cut field trips out. They're trying to get them back in. It'd be like 3 field trips, so there's $3,000 there was added back in. Mike Young has applied to the Youth Bureau for a grant for those field trips. So if he gets that 3,000 would come off of that 59 and only be 56,000. But the costs keep going up. And I know I've asked the county, I sent some emails, I sent a letter, had a couple of phone calls to see if they would be interested in helping fund our rec program, only because it takes in, we never turned anybody away. It's not only the village and town of Lowville, but it's anybody from Watson, Martinsburg, or Bremen wants to come, they're welcome. And I didn't get a good response from the county on that, which kind of bothers me a little bit because they can fund snowmobile clubs, help out on snort runs and other things, but that's not really helping the immediate people here in the town and village that are actually paying the county taxes. But besides that, so it doesn't look like we're going to get any funding from the county. But what I would suggest, and I don't know if I get the town to go along with it, is that anything over 30,000, which would be like that 29,000, when we'll say 30,000, that other 30,000, that we go ahead with our program if the town's willing to go. Right now, the town pays, the village pays 70% of the program, the town pays 30%. But with this increased cost, I think on the increased part of it, that maybe if we could get the town to pay 50% of it, say they pay 15,000, we pay 15,000 and go with the program. But I don't know whether I can get them to do that or not. But I just feel that's way too much for us to have to pay every year.
This may sound a little funny, but isn't the town getting extra revenue from the solar projects and the wind farm? I mean,
We don't get none of that.
right, so I mean, they're getting some extra money and probably would start with a little bit.
So you want to go after them for 50-50 on this too, you're saying?
Anything over 30,000, I would say 50,000. So basically I'm going to say 30,000, because you're looking at 59,892, you take 30,000 from that, it's almost 30. So my thought is, you go ahead with the program, if we're willing to say spend 15, if they'd make up the other 15. So it's,
Let her try.
I'll be meeting tomorrow, so we'll see what they got to say.
no, I just mean, otherwise I don't, there is another option, I hate to do that, we could cut back to 4 weeks. We did that a few years ago when the price came way up.
I think it's an important program, it's just, actually everything's going up, you know what I mean?
But the other problem is, I pretty much need to let these people know by June what we're up to do. So if I get the town to go 15, you guys are willing to okay with this program. Cause that would make our share would probably be about 45 then. And I've already talked to Mike Young. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit to the skating season, because summer will fly by. We're gonna have to take a look at that with the hockey association and figure out how we wanna do the utilities, because I think that needs to be readdressed. Just to give you an idea, this year,
I think the contract.
normally
was
we pay,
5,000, Right, I think the contract was 5,000 for skating, and then utility to be
Yeah.
separate, right?
yeah,
Okay.
normally we do the utilities, and just to give you an idea, normally our utilities run $7,000, $6,800. A year ago, they were $7,357. This year, and the biggie was electricity, and it could be because the chiller is running more with the pumps running to keep that glycol circulated, but our utilities for the skating program went up over $4,000. They went up to $11,374. I've already made Mike aware of that, and copies of this, because we may have to make some adjustments when we get ready to do the skating program. So with that, we shouldn't need a motion on that if they're willing to
No.
split the other 30,000. All right, I'll stay quiet. Somebody else have the floor. Clerk Treasurer.
I don't really have anything. We're getting ready to close out the current year and start our new year June 1st. So taxes will be coming out, and we are currently collecting for water and sewer, and that payments are due by the end of the month, which is the 31st. Other than that, that's about it.
Chief of Police,
I have nothing.
Superintendent.
Oh, I have a few things. So DPW, we've been down a couple people for quite a few months. I've hired a laborer and I've hired a mechanic, so we'll be at full steam ahead. Spring cleanup is pretty much done, but our crews will be out at least once a week picking up brush and stuff, so it's continuing through the summer. The fountain is finally functional. If you drive up Monument Park, take a look at it. We've got water flowing and everything. Still a little problem with the lights, but soon hopefully they'll be taken care of. I'm working on a paving schedule for this year. I'll update the board when everything's finalized, and so the public will know which streets are going to get milled, paved. Right now, Joe and I are working to get a drainage project on Jackson Street and get it new drainage in there, milled and paved. And that's it.
Capital and future planning, he's not here tonight. Anything on personnel?
No, I don't know.
Finance? Fire department liaison's not here. No, we did authorize to sign the contract. Do you have anything you want to say, Joe?
No, we're good.
Police department, anything there?
No, he does have your report in the file here, so.
Planning board, zoning board, members not here. Municipal board,
Nothing to report all over the town.
on the town. County, not here. Recreation, we already discussed that. We got everything on RICO, right, Mickey? Nothing
Yep.
more? All right, brings us down to public comment. Anything? Nothing, Henry? Where's your partner in crime tonight?
I don't know, I didn't contact him with it tonight.
All right, I don't think anybody's got anything for executive session, do they? All right, brings us down to adjournment.
Mike Oakley.
Second?
All in favor?
All right.